Our next step in division is looking at something called the bus stop sign, or it's commonly referred to as the bus stop sign. When we're dividing, doing something like 8 divided by 2 can be relatively easy, because all we're going to do is count upwards in twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, and we can see that by splitting it into groups of 2 we have 4 groups. In other words, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So with small numbers, it can be relatively easy to do division, and as you get further, you won't even need to, as you get further into the maths and practice more, you won't even have to count in the twos. You'll just be able to go 8 divided by 2 is 4. But what if we come to a larger number, such as 228 divided by 2? It's a lot more difficult, and constantly adding on twos would take you forever. So what we do is the number that is being divided goes under this little sign called a bus stop sign. Now you wouldn't have the tick shape by here, and there wouldn't be a gap by here, so just a line going up and a line going across. Unfortunately, the computer's got not really good way of doing that. So the 228, because we're dividing up the 228, that goes underneath, and now we're dividing it by 2, so that goes on the outside. So whatever you're dividing it by goes on the outside by here, whatever you're dividing goes on the inside. So what I do is I start off and look at the number furthest on the left, and I look to see how many times the 2 goes into 2. Now this is easier because 2 divided by 2, both small numbers, so I know it's 1. I then move on to the next one. 2 divided by 2 again is 1, and then I can go on to my third one. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and there you've got your answer to the question. 228 divided by 2 is 114. So it's a little simple method that makes things much easier when dividing larger numbers. Here's another example for you. This time we're dividing 128 by 2. Now the problem here is that the 2 won't go into 1. So how do we go about doing it? Well, we put a line through the 1 and carry it over. We've done carrying before with, say, subtraction, addition and multiplying, but here we use it in division as well. By carrying the 1 over, because this number is 10 times bigger than this one, the 2 becomes a 12. So when I divide it by 2, when I go to see how many times 2 will go into 12, we've now got 6. And I can carry on with 8 divided by 2 is 4, and there I've got my answer, 64. So when you can't divide one of the numbers by the number you've got on the outside, carry the bit you can't divide over, and then you can carry on with your division. Note that if, say, that had been 328, I'd put a 1 up above because 2 will go into 3 once, and then the remainder I carry over. So there would be a remainder of 1. So that would have carried over.